Back in the shop today, going to pull the engine on the thing, get it out so we can start the necessary engine repairs. I made myself a little checklist for the things that need to be disconnected so I don't forget. I've forgotten to disconnect the throttle cable before. That's always fun. So let's get started. Here's my list of things: throttle cable, fuel line and breathers, electrics, bottom nuts, top nuts. When I disconnect those electrics, I'll make sure to make a note of what everything is so it's easy to put it back together. First thing I got to do is get the generator wiring harness off. So this runs up through here, through this little pinch clamp, and then up to the voltage regulator back here. So I've cleaned up the wires. We can see what colors they are. There's 3 wires in total. We got a green on one terminal, and we got the big fat red one and a little yellow one with a green stripe on the other. And there's probably a ground connection right there in the back on that screw. So this will serve as my record of how it came apart. So when it comes time to put it together, we just have to put everything back where it came from. Okay, so we've got this little bit of wiring harness. This is for the ignition and the oil pressure switch. So we got 3 wires. The black one comes around to the near terminal on the ignition coil. The green with looks like a red stripe is going down to the oil pressure, and yellow with a green stripe goes to the other side of the ignition coil. Alright, so the last bit of electrics is the inductive pickup that runs from the number 1 spark plug wire over here up over the top of the carburetor or behind the carburetor and up to this box. It looks like there's a plug on the inductive pickup. I can just unplug it. Now we've got a few hoses to disconnect. We've got a vacuum line here that goes from the intake manifold up to the air cleaner. I've got a breather line here that goes up into the body. That's something to do with the emissions, I assume. And then I've got the crank breather tube. And that should be it for hoses and wires, and then we can get the bolts out. So getting the everything is harder than you think it's going to be. So getting this bolt out, which is the one that runs through the starter, was a real bear. It was really tight, and there's not a lot of room. My hands are dirty and all banged up, but victory. So we'll pull the bottom 2 nuts off. I left the top left bolt in, and then we'll get her down on the crate, take that other bolt out, and pull the motor. Should be another 15 minutes, which means another hour. Okay, engine is out, but it's on the floor. That didn't go really as I had hoped. It's really actually kind of hard on the lift because you don't have as good a control over the engine as doing it with a floor jack. So, well, lesson learned. When we put it back in, we'll do it with floor jack. But, well, it's out, and I don't think we damaged anything, and nobody got hurt. We can now get it up on the engine stand. Well, at the end of the day, we did not get the engine up on the engine stand because the engine stand won't bolt to this motor for some reason. The little mount interferes with the tin. Last time I used it was on a 36 horsepower engine about, I don't know, 15 years ago, so we'll figure it out. It's just sitting on a dolly. That's the end of the video today. I'll have more videos coming. Please, click like and subscribe if you like the content. We'll make more. Thanks, and see you next time.